Yo, here's a little rap for my friend Noelines. Remembering all the times that we spent together, all those happy memories, sitting in the playground talking about life and the plans for the future. Funny how it worked out. You went your way and I went mine. We still stuck together, stay connected in a friendship. Nothing happened to stop it from surviving. So cool that we managed to reconnect before you headed on your journey to a place where it was hard for me to see you on the regular, knowing that you are the kind of friend who goes far when this world gets so crazy and bizarre, knowing that you're gonna be a star, wondering if you could play the guitar, knowing that you're the kind of person who doesn't judge, who always loves with open arms, embracing people from all around the world, from all walks of life. Never treating them differently just because they act in a peculiar way, drawing them into your net, having no regrets, never breaking a sweat. When you saw other people looking when you were hanging out with somebody who didn't seem to have it all together. No matter, you found a way to weather the storm, and now you were not hesitant to perform. It was the fact that you had a screaming, squirming baby to contend with, one who kept on running around everywhere, and you were still trying to deal with the fact that your love wasn't coming back, and you got sick and tired of running back and forth, dealing with cycles and all the drama that you had to wrestle with on the daily, doing the hard yards, delivering junk mail, failing and succeeding. But even though it felt like you were internally bleeding, you kept on achieving, even though sometimes you were grieving. Now you never were leaving the goal that was set before you. You couldn't ignore the task that you had to do, look after your little one, trying to make the best for the both of you, put a roof over your head, even if it meant getting yourself entangled in some confusing messes when you weren't even sure about your identity. You started to slip and slide, started to feel like you were residing in the pits of hell. You didn't want to dwell on all those circumstances, just wanted to get along with your sisters instead of getting under the skin like blisters, knowing that you gotta deal with in-laws when the rains are pours, but you will plow through the rain, and you will be an umbrella for your little one, keep him sheltered from the harsh sun and the monsoon rains and the things that drain you internally. You will see the light at the end of the tunnel. Know that God had a better plan in store for you, you see. Even though you had to deal with those sick and twisted people who just used you and abused you, still you stood your ground. You got away from that bad situation and you found a better one. You were full of determination. You didn't let your future become an abomination. You knew what you had to do to get through with your life, trying your best to avoid turbulent strife, even though sometimes it felt like it just followed you around. You refused to be gagged and bound. You wouldn't let all of those worries hound you, let all of those headaches pound you. You rose up and got on with it. Pulled yourself up by the bootstraps. You didn't collapse when you were put under all this pain and pressure. You didn't let it stress you. You just kept on going like a river that kept on flowing. Even though the rocks had been put in, you still found a way to squeeze your waters out. No doubt you kept on trekking, even though your mind was wrecking itself. Even though you've been through some trouble, sometimes you keep on plowing forward. Never let your spirit just sink through the floorboards. When your ego took a dark dive, you still found a way to survive. Even though you had relationships falling apart like a hand smashed down upon a deck of cards, you still kept on putting one foot in front of the other, willing to discover the possibilities of love around the corner. Not giving up on your hope, though you might have been down in the dumps and you could have been going through a slump. Still you didn't act like a grump. You looked on the bright side of life and tried to make the most of every opportunity that came your way. You weren't too proud to do the jobs others didn't wish to do. You were willing to do anything to make a shilling, trying to fill your son's life with pleasure. Keep your eyes on your heavenly treasures. Know that God loves you always and forever. I'm so glad that I got a chance to meet ya. Even though I didn't have any lessons to teach ya, I was the one that learned from ya. Patience and compassion, tolerance, and not being a slave to fashion, though they tried to make you conform to a certain standard. Still you were yourself, your beautiful bright self. You wouldn't let them contain you like that. You were too amazing to be stifled in your creativity. You didn't want to give in to the negativity, even though you told the line and changed the length of your hem. Still, you were like a flower stem that burst out of the pavement. You wouldn't let yourself experience the estrangement from your identity. You were soon enough coming back to yourself. It was so good to see you flourishing, to see you no longer living under the constraints of conformity to society, knowing that you were born free, you were meant to be wild like a jungle child, knowing that you never let that innocence die inside you. I'm so glad that you found a better life. You found something that you could recognize as love, someone to protect you and care for you, someone who will always be there for you, to pull you out of snares that you prepare for yourself, not just to fill your pockets but your spirit with wealth, knowing that you got a helping hand, someone who can understand, give you a house and land. Know that you might feel disconnected from your spirit home, knowing no matter where you roam, you will always take part of your country with you. I'm so glad that I got to give you a little bit of time. Wish that I could give you more. God only knows what the future has in store. Hopefully only bright things for you. Know that I still totally adore you. So glad that you're my friend and that we have survived through thick and thin despite the distance. You never showed resistance, you kept up your persistence, always willing to listen to my ranting and raving, sometimes saving me from myself for a close shave or my craving instincts. Now I gotta thank you, 'cause you're the reason that my ship don't sink.